feel like there's sometimes like these characters need to die for these other characters to just like move on and like develop. Like in this case, like Source Code, like yeah, okay, it works on him, but they were gonna use him for other projects. Like, what kind of shitty life is that? Like, they were gonna erase his memories and use him for other projects. I get it that it would have saved all these people, but like, you got your program, it works. Use it on someone else one time. But let them die.
But like, I feel like that's so badass that he gets to. That's why Vera Goodwin's character, she tries to be like a human, you know. She has that humanity that she locks off, and she's like, "Fuck this! Like I can't do this." And she basically shuts off his life support and lets him die. But he goes on to live as Sean or whatever. So I feel like that's cool. It's like a new lease on life. You know what I mean? Even though it's not in our reality. He still gets to.
And maybe that could have just been fixed with like the music.
Yeah.
Like where it like just changed. Like
watching it with you guys, they try to be like way too whimsical at the end for what it is. For what the movie, I feel like is very.
It was like a thriller.
Yeah, and then they're just like.
Yeah, like look at this.
Walking in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Like if that would have had like a darker like just score. That would have been like it would. I would have felt like like whoa, this is creepy. He's living in another world. Like, but that just missed the mark for me. The music.
Okay, so Donnie. This will be interesting because you hadn't seen either of them. Yeah. You're a fresh dude for both, relatively in the same amount of time. So I think that'll be fun to hear.
I can't really pick I don't know.
Do you like them equally? You think
I'd say
like on a par?
Like them equally, maybe a little bit more for Donnie Darko. Just the
slightly more iconic, of course.
Yeah, just the creepiness of like Fred or Frank. Frank, sorry. Just that little bit of like mystery sets it ahead for me at least, and so I'll give the edge to Donnie Darko, but respect both of them equally, I guess if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. So pretty much on a par, but with you.
Leaning more towards Donnie Darko.
Okay. Cool. Dennis, even though I know yours is slightly going to be slanted because you didn't get a chance to watch Donnie with us.
Donnie Darko, for sure, because I feel in its own weird, dark way, it was more romantic. The way he sacrifices himself for someone else, having known what the outcome will be. I feel that has more meat on its bone than thinking that you're gonna save somebody in a simulator and not being sure whether it's really gonna do anything.
Okay.
Although I still love this movie. I like that he could do the same thing almost twice in a row and it'd still be just as good. With that whole like weird reality type thing. But Donnie Darko all the way.
Cool. For me, it's kind of hard, but I love like. I didn't really think about it, but he dies in Donnie and he survives in Source Code. But they both play with the same theory, so it was cool to see a different outcome for him. Whatever. In Source Code, he's obviously a mature Jake, so that's really cool. As far as what I like better, it's hard to say. I think I'd go with James. Where they're probably on a par as far as. Like I guess visually, but when you dive deep into Donnie, there's so much maybe more to it that you don't think about. Even though you could argue about with Source Code, but I think that Donnie just really, really fucks with you. It's like almost, I think him and so Jake Gyllenhaal and Seth Rogen, when they rapped on that set, they turned to each other and were like, I have no idea what the fuck this movie's about. They had no idea. That's I mean?
Hilarious.
Yeah. So that just tells you, it's just like so much more, I guess, that you were saying. there's so many more layers. I think as good as Source Code is, I think Donnie is slightly stronger. Do you guys want to jump into this one? Facts.
Go for it.
Let's jump in.
Let's do it.
All right. So we did discuss that Duncan Jones did this film, and I guess it's his shortest film out of all the stuff that he did. The film is set in Chicago, but the majority of it was shot in Canada on a soundstage. So they're not even outside or even in a real train. I believe this script was on the 2007 Blacklist, which is basically a list of the more popular unmade scripts, like scripts that people love and they're not made for whatever reason. This was part of that, and it wasn't done until 2011, so it took them quite a few years to even get it off the ground. Going back to what you said about not liking the chick, what was her name?
It was Christina.
Christina, that's right. Lindsay Lohan was supposed to be cast.
Oh god.
No, I wouldn't have liked that. This is better.
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan was originally supposed to play, but due to her personal problems, as we all know now what they were, she was recast with Megan. Or Michelle.
Way
Michelle,
better choice.
Huh?
This is a way better choice.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that would have been distracting.
Yeah.
I think, right? In the film, Coulter, his name's Coulter Stevens, the soldier, whatever the main character, mentions that his brother went missing in Afghanistan, right? During the war over there. This also happens in the 2009 film Brothers, which I showed you back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
With which stars Jake. and Tobey Maguire as brothers, and Tobey gets he gets taken prisoner over there. So this mirrors that film. I don't who's to say if that's intentional or not, but that's really cool that they put that in there, right? Another would have been scary, and I probably wouldn't even watch this. Topher Grace was supposed to be Jake Gyllenhaal's character.
Really?
I don't know about him. He's I don't know. He's
just
not
Foreman.
there for me.
Foreman.
Yeah, that's all he's gonna be. Unfortunately, I feel like.
Boot up his ass.
He's not Foreman. He's shitty Venom.
Yeah, that's very true, right? Okay, so going back to the box office, this film was made for $32 million, and it grossed just over 54, which it's not a smash, and it's not a
Failure.
It's not a failure by any means. Made its money back and then some, but I think that this film is was very overlooked, and it's great, man. It deserves
one of those hidden gems.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you go up to anybody and you say, "Do you know what Donnie Darko is?" They're gonna say, "Yeah," even if they hate it.
Yeah.
But you say, "Oh, do you know what Source Code is?" No, I doubt. I don't see it.
Is that a game?
Which is a shame, because I think that this film is great.
I agree.
Do you guys have anything you want to say, or any last? I guess we're getting to that time, the wrap up. But if you guys want to throw anything in, please do so.
All right, I'll give you guys a heads up on the next episode. Wes is going to talk about his intense love for the newest Transformers movie by Michael Bay.
Oh,
more on that next time.
That's not going to be the main, right?
No, it's going to be a side story.
Okay, yeah, that'll be something. But I hate Transformers. So, fuck you, Dennis, for ruining my credit. My street credit is going to be tarnished. No. Closing notes, guys?
No, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. It's always fun to come and chat about stuff. A lot of people are big fans of Wes. I've heard so far.
Whoop, whoop.
So they said he's cool. I'm not. That's valid. I'll take it. But yeah, thanks for having me. Lots of fun.
James?
I like the super group that we got going on right now.
Yeah, I hope we
Pretty
can
cool.
do this. I don't know if Annie's busy, but I would love to have you back.
Yeah, definitely. I'm digging this.
I don't like. I don't want to take ownership of the. You know, I handle like what we post and the way that we post episodes and stuff. But I don't feel like this is just mine. It's everybody's. It's San Diego's podcast, right? And you know, anybody's welcome to come join us and talk about whatever you guys want and just hang out. So thank you, Annie, for taking time. You know, coming after work and still chilling and you know.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really like you guys.
I feel like you know, a lot of people. I've tried to pitch this to them, and they're just like, "Oh, that's boring," or "What's a podcast?" I've gotten that a lot. What's a podcast?
What's a podcast? Wow.
Yeah, or they're just like, "Oh no, talk shows put me to sleep, dude." I'm just like, "Wow, you're what's wrong with the world, right?" You don't want to. I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit harsh, but you know, I don't know. But thank you guys, and thank you, Dennis, man, for getting back to us and coming back strong.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing good.
And thank you, Wes, for always having something great for me to watch, something new or something old that I haven't visited in a while.
Yeah.
Every time I've come for a show, I've enjoyed everything. Even that one time that I fell asleep, but that wasn't on purpose because I love that movie. Yeah, I fell asleep during The Void, and if you guys remember, I loved the shit out of it. He actually scared me, and I don't know at what point I dozed off, but I passed out for a little while, and he's like, "Hey!" And I was like, "Oh shit, the freaking demons are getting me."
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you haven't seen The Void, Annie, check that out.
Yeah, I have to.
That's my Blu-ray pick, The Void. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. I honestly enjoyed every single piece we've watched. Whether it's not my cup of tea, I like venturing into different things and maybe exploring things that I might have not cared for before, but now I'm finding an interest in, like Scream.
Yeah, I've always been big on that. Like, if you're going to trash on something, don't just go off what other people say. Sit down and watch it so you can really rip it apart for real.
Yeah, I enjoy doing. I feel like I'm a very picky person, so I think I like that part. I mean, I'm picky, but I think that's a good thing. Like,
Yeah.
I have my own taste, and so I think that's fun.
No, yeah, I think that's great. I feel like that's what's beautiful about pop culture and subculture. We all have our niches and things that we love and things that we don't, and that's why we come together and make these interesting. If everybody was just like, "Oh, Power Rangers is the greatest fucking movie, you know, greatest reboot ever," right now, then everyone would just be like, "Oh, you know." So I respect what Annie said about she's glad that somebody didn't like it because that's cool. That brings a dynamic to you know what we're talking about. Yeah. I don't know. Should we?
Explosions. Do you have that on there?
No soundbite for the explosion. I'll have one next time.
Yeah, we
Not
need
easy.
explosions.
So yeah, we're signing off. Do you guys want to say bye? Do you want to plug anything, Annie? You got anything coming up, or is it already done?
I don't. I
Recycle,
don't have
people, recycle. I love a clean
Oh.
San Diego. What's up? We got the manager in the house.
Yeah, recycle the shit out of your life. And
Yeah.
if you have any recycling questions, I am always down to answer them and help. And yeah, I mean, I'm here for the whole county. I know the whole county.
I love a clean San Diego manager. What's up?
Nice pitch. I like it.
Yeah. What were you gonna, James?
Just glad to be a part of this.
Yeah,
Pretty
man.
cool. Like doing this is fun.
Yeah, thank you. I know you have a kind of rough schedule. You got your son and your new fiance.
Woo!
What's up?
Oh,
Congrats.
Hey.
And you know, your job is definitely I'm right there with you, man. It's fucking tough and you work weird hours. So thank you for coming down and watching movies with us and hanging out and always being you know, top tier, like at the pinnacle of your game. I feel like you really bring it with your news and everything, your ideas and everything, you know. It's a pleasure, man, having you here. So thank you.
Damn,
Thank you.
James and Dennis. Rough schedule, boys.
Yeah, man. You have a crazy. It's part. You know, I got you the second job, so it's my fault. But
It's the first